guys got your drinks?
Yeah.
All right.
Thank
So,
you.
Good night. I'll be back.
How you doing?
I have a boyfriend.
I know the owner here.
Thank you.
How you doing?
Stop. Back up. Back up. Many of you might find yourself in a similar situation where you're at the bar or the club just trying to grab a drink and some creep comes up in your space and tries to put their arm around you or talk to you. And the default is to maybe want to punch this person in the face to get them away from you. But today we want to show you a couple of strikes that might actually be more powerful or versatile in close encounters like this one. So the first thing that you want to do is to try to create distance between you and this person and to set up very clear boundaries that they're not welcome in your personal space. So as you're turned towards the bar, if someone starts to put their arm around you, you can use your elbow and the bony part here to dig into their rib cage to send a signal that they're not welcome. And when you do this, the bony part is going to be very sensitive in that rib cage area, so they should start to get the hint. But if they continue advancing towards you, you will need to be a little bit more aggressive, actually try and push them away, and you want to step back as well to help create a little bit more momentum. And as you're stepping back, this will also allow you to create a little bit more distance. You can use your arm as a shield to signal to them that they really need to back up. So if we see this again in motion from one fluid action, this person's coming behind me, I'm using my elbow to push them away, and if they continue coming forwards, you can push them back. So if you've blocked to the chest and they still continue coming at you, you want to move up to the face to block their vision, but then also replace that with some sort of counter strike. And something to know about strikes is that a lot of people think it actually comes from your arms, but you want to use the momentum of your legs as well to turn and throw that punch directly into the face. So something to help remind you about this motion, think about stomping down on a bug, and as you're stamping down on it, you're actually turning your hips, and that's the same type of motion that you want to use when you're throwing a strike. So when they're coming at you, you want to block and replace that with some sort of strike. And you can, if you're scared to use a punch, you can also use an alternative like a hammer fist or a palm strike. But the most important thing is you're trying to get the bony parts of your hands into the soft tissue of their face where they're the most vulnerable. So just to reemphasize the block and replace technique, you want to block and replace, block and replace, block and replace. And if you don't have enough space and they're coming in too close that is not allowing you to actually do a palm strike or a fist, you can actually use something that's a little bit more advanced, which is an elbow. So you want to use the elbow, the bony parts of your elbow, and you want to do a 6 to 12 motion with an open palm and making sure that you're using that same motion of turning your hips into it. So you want to use that 6 to 12 motion up into the nose or up into the chin. So just to summarize the 3 steps, you want to make sure that you're creating distance, you're setting very clear boundaries, and you're using that block and replace technique. And while all of this is happening, again, if you're in a public place, be loud, use your voice, get aggressive. But the most important thing is this is just our technique and something that we're showing you today, but it's going to take continued practice. So make sure that you go out and train, attend workshops, anything that you need to do to continue practicing these motions to make sure that it stays muscle memory for you.
Go to the gym.